Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today in this video I'll be showing you how to make the Celtic Heart Scarf. This scarf is an easy crochet pattern that combines two types of heart motifs. This one here is a Celtic knot heart that is very easy to make. It is made with just single crochet and slip stitches. And then we have a small white crochet heart that's made in just 2 rounds using a variety of basic stitches, from slip stitch to single crochet, half double, double, and treble crochets. Then all of them are joined together to create this fun and unique scarf. So if you like this project, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to click to subscribe, and let's get started. Let's talk about the supplies that you'll need for the Celtic Heart Scarf. The yarn I used for this scarf is Big Twist yarn. It's 100% acrylic, and this is sold at Joann Fabric stores. This here is color Plum. I love fuchsia, and it is rare to actually find a really pretty fuchsia color in yarn. So when I saw this, I just had to get it, and I decided to pair it with this beautiful lilac. It's called Orchid, and then the same company yarn, Big Twist, in white. So you'll just need 1 skein of each of these colors, but you can use any medium weight acrylic yarn. And then you'll need a size 5.5 millimeter or I crochet hook, and you'll need a jumbo tapestry needle. Remember, the list of all the supplies you need are in the description below. As far as the weaving supplies, we'll go over those when we get to weaving the Celtic knot heart, and you can check down in the timestamp in the description below for where that is in this video, so you can skip ahead. All of the Celtic knot hearts that are in the Celtic Heart Scarf all begin with a simple cord made with single crochet stitches. So I'm going to put my slip knot on my hook. Remember, this is a 5.5 millimeter hook, and I'm going to chain 100. Now, what you can do is, if you find that you lose your count a lot when you're chaining, you can chain maybe 10 or 20. So here is 20 chains, and then I'm going to mark the 20th chain with a stitch marker. And I'll do that all the way up to 100, and that way if I get interrupted, it's easy for me to just undo a few chains and look back and say, okay, I have 4 sets of 20, and now I need to make 1 more set of 20 without having to start over or count all these tiny little chains. Here you can see I have completed the 100 chains, and I put a stitch marker every 20, so I just count up the 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And now I am going to work into this chain with a single crochet stitch. This here is the front of the chain, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to work in the back of the chain where you see all these bumps. And I'm going to insert my hook under that raised bar or bump. And if you want a step-by-step video tutorial of this technique, you can click right there. I'm going to skip my first chain and work right into the second chain from my hook. I'll put my hook in, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. Now I'm going to work into the next one, and I'm going to do a single crochet in each chain all the way across. So I'll have 99 single crochets when I'm finished. And I found that it works well to lay the chain on my non-dominant hand's middle finger like this, so that I can go right across and easily find that back bar. as opposed to holding it like this and kind of looking and trying to find it that way. By laying it down, I have more control and I can see that back bar better. And when I get to my stitch marker, I'll just take it out and keep on cruising. Okay, so now I've completed all 99 single crochets, and I have this thin cord that now we're going to add a contrasting color to the top and bottom side. So when we weave it into the Celtic Knot heart, we can really see the overs and unders and the intricacies of the Celtic Knot design. So I'm going to cut the yarn about 8 inches away and yarn over and pull through so I have a nice knot. And I'm going to find the beginning of the cord, which is right here where there are no yarn tails. The yarn tails are at the end, and I want the beginning with the right side facing me. And I'm using this pretty lilac color. You want to pick a contrasting color so it really helps the pattern pop. And I'm going to work into the tops of the single crochet stitches, but I'm going to work in the back loop only. So I put my hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on my hook. That's called a slip stitch. And I'll work like that all the way across, and it'll create this pretty braid-like edging along the side of the cord. So remember, we usually put our hook under both loops of the top of the stitch, but I'm going to insert it only into that back loop, and it'll look like that. And I'm going to go all the way across, and I'll meet back up with you and show you how to come back along the other edge of the cord. I've come to the end of the cord, and now I'm going to work across this short end and go back along the other side. And I don't want to cut off the yarn because then I'd have to weave that end in. So I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to insert my hook just into the side of the cord right here for another slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain one again, and now I'm going to work into this side of the cord. Same thing, working in that back loop only. And because we worked in the back bar of the chain, the top and the bottom of this cord look the same. So you could see here, even though this is the bottom of my stitches, they look like the tops. And I just insert my hook into that back loop and keep on going to where I started. And here I've come back to where I began. I'm going to cut the yarn about 8 to 10 inches from the end. That way I can use these yarn tails to sew my project together. Yarn over, pull through, make sure it's nice and tight. And now I have a completed cord that's ready for weaving. This cord should be approximately 25 inches long, and you're going to make 4 with the darker color on the inside and 4 with the lighter color on the inside, and then I made one more where it's all just the darker color. And you can see that in the pictures at CelticKnotCrochet.com or in this next section of video when we start to weave the Celtic Knot heart. Okay, so to make the white heart that is in the Celtic Heart Scarf, it is a very simple heart. It's only 2 rounds, and you're going to start with a magic ring or an adjustable circle or a magic circle. You can make this without it, and if you check the directions at CelticKnotCrochet.com, I show you an alternative there if you don't want to do the adjustable ring. So for the adjustable ring, I wrap the yarn around and pinch it at the top. Then I go under this loop and grab the working yarn. I have a step-by-step video tutorial of how to do this technique as well. but this is real quick. Then I carefully get ready to crochet and chain 1. And I'm going to chain 2 more, so total of chain 3, and then I'm going to do a treble crochet. So I yarn over twice, put my hook into the loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. I'll do that again. Yarn over twice, hook into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. And I'm going to do 3 total treble crochets. Now I'm going to do 3 double crochets, and I'm still working into this big loop. We'll tighten it and make it smaller later. So double crochet, remember, is a yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to make 3 of those total. And here I've already got almost half of my heart. Then I'm going to chain 1 and then do 1 more treble. So I yarn over twice and do the tall stitch, the treble. Then I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to do the same stitches I did here, but in the reverse order. So I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 2, 3, still working into this big loop. Now I'm going to do 3 trebles, so yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm almost finished. You can see the heart shape. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that same loop like so. And here I have all my stitches crammed into that loop, and I untwist the yarn tail here, and I'm going to pull that yarn tail at the beginning of my work. Pull it nice and tight, and that closes up that center hole, and we have a pretty little white heart. Now for our second round, you can chain 1 here if you like. So I'll chain 1, and now I'm going to work in those first 3 chains that I started the project with. And I'm going to do single crochet. So 1, 2, and then into the 3rd chain, single crochet. And this is giving it a nice edging. And now this first treble crochet, I'm going to work in both loops here, and I'm going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Now in the next one I'm going to do 2 again. 1, 2, and then there should be 4 more stitches here, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of them. 1, 2, 3, and into that chain. There's a chain right there. So 1, 2, 3, and then into the chain. Now I should be at that bottom treble crochet, the bottom point of the heart, and I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and then single crochet right back into that same stitch. And now I'm going to do the same thing but up the other side. So here's that chain 1 space. So I'm going to do a single crochet in that, and then a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do 2 single crochets in the next one, single crochet in this one here, and then 2 single crochets in that last treble at the top. And now I have those 3 chains that I ended the previous round, and I'll just put a single crochet in each of those chains just picking one of the loops. And then I like to go back into that center hole that we tightened up and do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to cut my yarn over and pull through everything. And there you go. So you're going to make 8 of these hearts. Now that we've completed the cord, we're ready to weave the knot into the Celtic heart knot. So in order to do that, you're going to need a piece of corkboard. That's about 6 inches by 6 inches. Mine's quite a bit bigger. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, and then I like to put a 1/2 inch thickness of styrofoam underneath it, so when I put the pins in the corkboard, the pins don't ruin my work surface. But that's optional. And then you'll need to print out the Celtic knot diagram from CelticKnotCrochet.com. This is a free diagram. You don't have to print it out in color, but sometimes seeing things in color helps you weave the knot better. And then you'll need some straight sewing pins, and you'll need a yarn needle or tapestry needle to finish up the weaving and the securing of the cord. So before we begin, I highly recommend that you just examine the diagram and make note of the path that the knot is going to take. So you will be starting here at this black asterisk, and I recommend just following along with your dominant hand. Follow the arrows so that when we go to weave the knot, your brain has already seen where we're going to end up. So we start here with one end of the knot, the cord, and the other end of the cord will end here. Now we're going to take the cord and we're going to start with the side that is not covered with the slip stitch edging here. We're going to start with this side. So if you've put the edging on, you'll have the yarn tails for the edging, but no other yarn tails. And I'm going to line up the beginning of the cord with that asterisk, like so. And now I just follow along the black arrows. So the black arrows go this way, and wherever I need to keep the cord in place, I just add a pin. And now I'm going to go this way and back over where I began. So I remove this pin, place the cord over, and then put the pin back down. Now I'm going to work this way. So far, pretty simple. Now I'm going to peek at the diagram, and I see that this path will go under this path right here, and then it's going to go over here. So I'm going to take the end, go under, and then over, like so. And now I continue to follow. I'm going to go this way, and then if I peek at the diagram, I see that I'm going to go over here, then under this, then over. So over, under, over, and make sure this lines up with this path over here. And now I've got my last section. So I'm going to peek at the diagram, and I see that I'm going to go under, then over, under, over. Under, over, under. And there we go. It's a pretty simple knot, but it looks really pretty. Then I'm going to take out the pins, and I'm going to pin this end across like that. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Pin this end across and take out pins here. And then I remove it from the board and I can adjust a little bit, maybe make those heart humps a little more pronounced. Push the cords in together. And then I'm going to use the yarn needle and I'm going to use these yarn tails and I'm going to sew this cord end down and I'm going to fold over the other end. See, this was like this, and I'm going to fold it over and sew that down on the back so my stitching doesn't show. And then I'm going to carry that stitching over here to the center part and sew this in place. Here you can see how I've threaded the yarn tail onto my yarn needle, and I'm just going to pick up a few loops on the back of my project and do that around the end of the cord. Pick up a few loops on the back so they don't show on the front, and then a few on the end, just to secure that. And another nice little tip is that sometimes for the bottom of the heart on the back side, if you sew it together just a little bit, so on this back part right here, I sew together a little bit right here to accentuate that point, just like that. And that really helps the heart keep its shape, and it doesn't stretch out and look like that on your project. You want a nice pointed bottom. So I help that out by sewing that together. Alright, so I have an update for you. I wore this scarf and I did not sew all the crossings. See, I sewed some of them, but not all of them. And the bummer about that is that when it hangs from your neck, it pulls out of shape. So you really can't do any shortcuts, and you really should sew all these crossings. So I would just do it the same way that I did the hearts, where I went from one cord to the other cord, picked up some loops on either side like so, and sew them together where it can't be seen on the front. And I just work around the whole heart and do a couple stitches on each of the crossings, and that's it. So you want to make sure you do that. If you're not going to sew felt to the back, you definitely want to sew most of the crossings, because just gravity pulling down will distort the heart a little bit. So by sewing everything together, then it keeps its shape and looks great. And once you've completed all 9 hearts and all 8 white hearts, then we're ready to put the whole scarf together. Now that we've completed all of the Celtic knot hearts and all of the white hearts, it's time to join them together, and you're going to alternate the Celtic knot hearts with the color. So this one, the main cord color is the lilac with the deep pink edging, and then this one, the deep pink, is the main cord color with the lilac edging. And you're going to put together 4 of the Celtic hearts alternating with a white heart in between. So let me show you how I do that. First off, when you finish the white heart, I like to pull that center hole with the adjustable ring nice and tight, and then tie a double knot with my yarn tails. Then I'm going to thread one of the yarn tails onto my jumbo tapestry needle, and I'm going to work through the backs of the stitches like so. So I come out here at the point of the heart, and then I'm going to turn over the Celtic knot heart And I'm going to sew the white heart right there on the top. And I like to just kind of peek here, see what it looks like on the front side. It's going to overlap slightly. You could pin it in place if you wanted. Just like that. Right there in that top point of the heart. And I'll pick up some loops on the Celtic knot heart and then some loops on the white heart and do that right here at that bottom section. And I'll go up a little bit here and up a little bit here and check it on the front, making sure the stitches don't show through and everything looks nice and even. Okay, like that. And then once I've finished securing the heart to the Celtic heart, I'm going to work the yarn tail back up through the back of the white heart till I get to that other yarn tail, and I'm going to tie them in a knot again. This just helps all of these stitches stay nice and tight and not come loose when I wear the scarf. And then I'll take the yarn tail that I've already used and go back and forth a couple times, weaving in the end and trim off the excess. So now I'm ready to use the other yarn tail. So here I'm using these yarn tails to sew my scarf together while I also weave the yarn tail in. So I'm saving time by doing two jobs at once. So now I'm going to take the last Celtic knot heart, and again, if you your two sides of the scarf are also going to alternate. So here again, the fuchsia's on the outside edge of the cord, and here the fuchsia's on the inside of the cord. And this is how they'll match up going down on the right and left side of your body. So they alternate this way, and then they alternate across. And same thing here. I'm gonna overlap the white heart just a little bit with the bottom here of the Celtic knot heart, just like so. And then I'm gonna secure it, working on the wrong side, the same way that I did the other side of the white heart, the bottom of the white heart. Pick up a couple loops on either side, on either heart, and check that it looks good and nice and even. And I'll do the same, repeat the same process of working some stitches, making sure it's secure, and then weaving in this yarn tail. So now that we have the two lengths, the right and left side of the scarf completed, all we have left to do is join the three hearts that go across the back of the scarf. So I decided to put that heart in all one color, and you're going to turn it around so the point is facing away from the two side lengths, which it will be pointing down the center of your back. And then you'll take the last two white hearts and you'll sew them on to the last or the top Celtic knot hearts, like so, like we did before, and then you'll have the two humps of the heart sewn to this side, this hump of the back heart, and like so. And this will help the scarf to sit nicely around your neck and over your shoulders. So you'll sew all those together just like we did the other white hearts. So here you see I sewed on those 2 white hearts to the back heart, and now my scarf is complete. There is one thing you might want to do, actually two. You could add a little bit of stability to your scarf by sewing on felt or fleece hearts onto the back. I would sew little white ones on the back of the white, and then either pink or black on the back of these, and it would just give it some more stability and help it hang better. But you don't have to do that. So you could sew felt on there, and you could also add a tassel or a pom-pom here at the base of the scarf. So I hope you enjoyed making this project, and I hope you enjoy wearing it around Valentine's Day and any time of the year where you want to show that you love all things Celtic. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click to subscribe, and make sure to watch the next crochet video. Happy crocheting!